How's it going, everyone? Got a lot of game updates to go over in this video. We have yet another Expedition 33 update as the new patch is now rolling out for PlayStation users, and it is baking in two patches into one for PS5. We'll talk about that briefly. We already went over that, but it's a notable patch. Also, the physical version on Amazon seems to be readily in stock, and thankfully they are limiting it to one buy per customer, so that's quite nice. I think for most people, if you already own the game, which I imagine is why a lot of people want the physical copy, because they bought the game digitally, and then they're gonna they played the game, they loved it, and now they want a physical copy. I would just wait for the Lumiere edition, but we'll talk about that. Witcher 3, after a decade seemingly getting a batch of new updates. We already know about the mod support, but now it looks to be the project that Fool's Theory is working on, which we knew that they were working on something, is Witcher 3 DLC and is slated to release next year. We'll talk about that, and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater gets a big update. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But off the bat, I do want to mention that Expedition 33's new update 1.300.100 has dropped on PlayStation 5, and it's baking in two patches, the HOTFIX included as well, which deals with localization issues and a bug with Simon's Attack, which now you can rematch them. So that is live right now, and the patch has dropped. Version 1.3.0, you can now rematch Simon. Story mode balancing included as well. So if you are looking to play this game and you don't want to worry about the combat at all, which is what a story mode should be there for, and I would argue that Expedition 33, given the game is so at a high level from a story standpoint, a visual standpoint, a soundtrack standpoint, that this is one of those games that absolutely deserves a story mode and needs a story mode, and the fact that they're making it more accessible, I love. I have been one of the more vocal people, I feel like, on YouTube and just on social media in general, talking up easy difficulty gameplay. You guys want to tell me I'm bad at video games? Go right ahead. Like, oh my god, dude, I'm 30 years old and I'm not great at video games. Wow, you got one on me. But on the story mode, the easiest difficulty setting, parry and dodge windows have increased by 40%, incoming damage reduced by 10% to 50%, so that is live right now. Challenge modifier, so if you want a more challenging experience, that is available as well. At flag checkpoints, players can now limit max player damage to 99,999 or 999,999, and you also have the ability to multiply enemy HP if you do want in increments of 2x, 5x, 10x, 20x, 50x, or 100x. If you're really a masochist like that. So you can go check that out, and there are a batch of new bug fixes, 297 in total. I'm not gonna go over all those again. System and settings change. Audio can now be muted or unmuted when the game is running in the background, and there's some PC related fixes, localization, rolling credits, updated font size adjustment, new strings added, and minor text corrections implemented, and then the hotfix fixed a plethora of issues as far as sensitivity and an issue with Simon's Attack. So, Expedition 33 gets another patch live on PS5 now, and if you are looking to pick up the physical copy now, it's readily available on Amazon. As I'm recording this video, it's available. Again, if you're of the mindset that you already played the game digitally and you just want it as a collector, the Lumiere edition is still available for pre-order. Yes, it's $70, but if you're that big of a fan of the game that you're double dipping on the game for a physical copy, I imagine getting a digital, or spending $70 versus $50 isn't that big of a deal. The Lumiere edition has the contents of the digital deluxe edition. On top of that, you get a really nice steelbook, an art book. It's stuff that I feel like if you care about being a collector in specific situations and specific games, that's what you should get. It's also a GameStop exclusive item, so pre-order it there, and you'll get it October 31st. Most of you already played the game. I would get that, and if we're talking about things that'll appreciate in value, I think that'll be something that will. Alright, moving on from that, huge news here. Witcher 3, hello, a decade later, and 11 years later, looks to be getting new DLC. This is a new rumor that is circulating. According to Polish podcaster Rock and Boris, CD Projekt Red isn't finished with Witcher 3. They are reportedly planning a third DLC for the game set to release in 2026, and this is being helmed by Fool's Theory. We knew that Fool's Theory was working on something, but now we know that the key developers from The Witcher 3, including Kuba Rakos, one of the more important developers of Witcher 3, involved with the quest design, will also be working on this DLC. The translation notes, let's move on to our main topic. From the information we have collected, it turns out that the unannounced mysterious project by CD Projekt Red, made by Fool's Theory, is a story DLC for The Witcher 3. This is confirmed information from several independent sources. What we know is that this is a DLC for The Witcher 3 based on one piece of information. I can't confirm it any further, but the earliest it could be is in the future year. We also more or less know the order of releases. First, mods for consoles, then the DLC for Witcher 3, then The Witcher 4, and finally the remake of The Witcher. Based on the handling of this, I would imagine that it's going to be maybe DLC to set up Witcher 4. Maybe you play as Ciri. I am super fascinated with where this could go, and Witcher 3 DLC a decade later, there are games that stand the test of time. Witcher 3 is absolutely that, and that game getting DLC, people are gonna gravitate right to it. There are games you could dig up from the past, and I would love to see this done more often. You know, games from a decade ago, dug up, do a new piece of DLC, re-release the game. It'll give you an opportunity to re-release the game as well. You think if this is a story-based DLC, they're not gonna do a Witcher 3, I don't know what you would call it, because I think the completed, it's called the complete edition, I'm pretty sure, with Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone. So I don't know what you call it, but you could re-release it, include everything, $60, boom, put it on the shelf, all content on disc because CDPR rolls that way, and it'd be great. You could re-release it on Nintendo Switch 2 as well, makes all the sense in the world. You know, when you make a game at the level of a Witcher 3, you want to monetize it over and over and over again. That's what they did with Skyrim, that's what they do with GTA 5, that's what they do with these games that are at such an elite level. You can monetize them over and over again, and because it's CDPR, I'm confident it's going to be quality content. Look at what they did with Phantom Liberty, the best piece of DLC that I've ever played. And it's tremendous. Witcher 3 getting DLC. I hope it's significant given the standard that's been set with Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. Blood and Wine, before Phantom Liberty, Blood and Wine was probably the best DLC I ever played. After Phantom Liberty, I'd probably, you know, lean towards Phantom Liberty, but given Blood and Wine was at such a high level, and that was like, what, a 15, 18, 20-hour piece of DLC? I would hope for something of quality, and if you're talking about something released 11 years after the initial release, and the momentum that's gonna be there with the mod support coming as well, there could be an opportunity to capitalize with a significant piece of DLC that is, you know, 20 hours long, and, I mean, what we're talking about, it's setting the table for Witcher 4, but given how much content Witcher 4 is going to have, yeah, a 15 to 20 hour piece of DLC would just be setting the table. I think there is a lot of money to be made as far as that's concerned, and that is incredibly exciting to me. And man, Witcher fans are going to be eating good. You're talking about Witcher 3 DLC, first of all, Witcher mod support, then Witcher 3 DLC, then Witcher 4, then the Witcher 1 remake. After a bit of a layoff in terms of Witcher content, we got the Netflix series and whatnot, man, you're gonna get a consistent stream of Witcher, because I would imagine Witcher 3 DLC next year, Witcher 4, let's say 2028, and then Witcher 1 remake 29, 2030, I mean, that's a pretty steady stream of Witcher content rollout over the next 5 years, and hopefully we can get that level of consistency, because Witcher is one of those IPs that should be a mainstay in gaming. I'm not saying a release every year, but every couple of years, you could do some sort of content expanding this incredible world. Lastly, I do want to note Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater has officially added the online battle mode Fox Hunt. This was very much rumored. Fox Hunt is a completely original online battle mode. It's not Metal Gear Online. It shares the same worldview of Metal Gear Solid Delta. The gameplay is completely different. Perhaps many people will think of Metal Gear Online when hearing about a Metal Gear Online battle mode, but Fox Hunt is different from Metal Gear Online. Thankfully, there were requests to bring back Metal Gear Online from players who played Metal Gear Online back in the day. On the other hand, the environment surrounding players has changed drastically since those days. We carefully considered what kind of online battle mode we should create now under today's circumstances. Based on the stealth of the Metal Gear series, especially camouflage, which is a feature of the main story of this game, and the element of survival, which is the theme of this game, not only focusing on simply shooting at each other, but taking advantage of hide and seek and discovering, building a concept of online battles unique to Metal Gear was a challenge. Unfortunately, we are not yet able to explain the specifics of the game at this time, but we are working on Fox Hunt diligently. We hope to have more specific information about the game as it develops. So that is going to be pretty interesting. The PlayStation 5 and PC versions are going to feature Snake vs. Monkey. The Xbox Series version is going to feature Snake vs. Bomberman as a minigame, and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is due out on August the 28th. And that week of August, the 20th into the 27th, 28th is going to be insanity, because you're talking about Dying Light the Beast into Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Gears of War Reloaded, and Lost Soul Aside in the span of a week. And I'm probably forgetting stuff there as well, but it's going to be a busy, busy week, and that is going to kick off really that whole season of major game release after major game release. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Expedition 33 update rolling out on PS5. So much exciting stuff ahead for The Witcher. That franchise is going to have a big next half decade or so, really, maybe even longer than that. So a lot of exciting stuff. DLC in 2026 looks likely, and Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater adding an online battle mode in Fox Hunt. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.